Live from the WMTV studios, your news authority. NBC 15 News at 10 starts now.
So this is not just about Sun Prairie Fire, Police, EMS. This is about our community.
It has been a long year for the Sun Prairie community, recovering from the deadly gas explosion that brought destruction to downtown. Tonight's event was a solemn look back at the past 365 days and a look ahead to Sun Prairie's future. We have team coverage, including the continued recovery efforts for people who used to live in the blast's epicenter. We're going to begin tonight with NBC 15's Morgan Wolf and tonight's remembrance ceremony.
1 year ago today, this city was broken. It was devastated as an explosion wrecked this portion of their downtown. It was a different story this evening. Everyone stood together in support and strength of one another.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Standing here today, the way life has played out would not have been my answer. By the time the sun set 1 year ago today, the unthinkable had happened, and my world was turned upside down. But not just mine. Hundreds and thousands of people experienced the most tragic event in Sun Prairie's history.
It's a 3-minute walk from the fire station to the site of the explosion. 3 minutes that memorialized a hero's 34 years of life.
The pain of the losses from last year are still sharp in our memories.
Captain Corey Barr gave the ultimate sacrifice to save people in his community.
Corey did something that nobody could do. He brought a community together.
Something Jen and Jeff Streeter will never forget.
To feel that in the moment has been really meaningful.
People still feel that impact, and it's really great to see all of our neighbors out here.
More than 100 people showing up for Abby.
I'd like to close with saying thank you to my Tootsie Pop. Your impact on the community and your fellow first responders family has been remarkable. And because of you, I have learned what it means to be selfless, brave, strong, courageous, and how to love unconditionally. And these are all things I will be instilling in our two beautiful girls.
Standing together in the street, signifying a strength they will share forever. An emotional night here in Sun Prairie, and I can tell you I've had some conversations with Abby, multiple within the past year. She told me that Corey was a very humble man and he wouldn't understand why there are so many memorials for him. But Abby says each and every one, she feels closer to the husband that she lost. Now, there was a very special moment, particularly this evening. Right here, you see Chief Garrison hand over Abby the old bar house sign. That was the business that her and Corey owned together. Now, that sign was recovered from inside the bar house as crews held on to it. Crews held on to it for over a year, waiting to give it to her tonight. So again, that in itself shows you how much that fire department cares about Abby Barr. Reporting live in Sun Prairie, I'm Morgan Wolf. Back to you.
Morgan, thanks. And tonight, many wonder what will happen to the site where that explosion took place a year ago tonight. A Chicago firm was tasked with creating a possible plan for the redevelopment of Main and Bristol streets. The firm said between an input meeting in May and online survey, nearly 1,000 people shared their thoughts on what should happen to the area. An architect and urban planner with the firm said they will be presenting concepts to the community in an open house on July 25th. That meeting will be at City Hall in the community room from 5:30 to 7. People attending the meeting will be able to provide input about their favorite concepts. The firm is hoping to outline the action plan to guide the city on redeveloping Sun Prairie in the fall. Through donations from the community and across the country, the Disaster Relief Fund received more than $614,000. Those funds were distributed to people who lost their homes, first responders, and business and property owners. The Bank of Sun Prairie established the fund, and a committee of 15 members approved the allocations. The United Way of Dane County provided administrative support. The Disaster Relief Fund closed at the end of May, and no future donations will be accepted. The Sun Prairie explosion touched the lives of so many in the community, including Maria Hernandez, who lived on the corner of Main Street and Columbus, just down the street from the explosion site. NBC 15's Isabel Lawrence caught up with her 1 year after the explosion forced her from her home.
Sunshine Place in Sun Prairie told me that since that explosion, they've worked with over 100 individuals, including, John, like you mentioned, Maria Hernandez. She actually just lived 1 block away from us now, like you mentioned, on the corner of Main and Columbus. And all of those people's lives were rocked by that explosion.
Okay.
1 year later.
Just like a really fast thing.
It's still hard for Maria Hernandez to think back to July 10th, 2018.
I guess I was surprised. Sorry. I didn't think something like that could happen, like to anybody or like us.
But the unthinkable did happen.
A friend called and said, "You smell gas."
Hernandez didn't know that would be the last time she'd live in her apartment, leaving behind a home.
So you're fine.
Full of memories.
He was actually born there. I had him in the apartment.
Hopping from relatives to a motel.
I guess kind of homeless for a couple of weeks.
Hernandez found a new home.
Push the button.
With the support of Sunshine Place.
The biggest question was, can you help? And our answer to that was yes.
The Community Resource Center worked with 51 families. 35 were displaced. They helped get families into new homes with the resources they needed. They also recommended where the money from the Sun Prairie Disaster Relief Fund should go.
It's been an emotional time here. I often mention how our families are resilient, and they're powerful, and they're strong, and they did get back on their feet.
Families like the Hernandezes received help with their security deposit, rent, and things like clothes and bedding. Now, their new home is a fresh start.
Be happy. There's probably better things to come.
Sunshine Place currently has a campaign going called #ActsOfKindnessSP. They're hoping to use the money raised to expand their facilities so they can serve even more families here in the Sun Prairie community. Reporting live in Sun Prairie tonight, Isabel Lawrence, NBC 15 News.
Well, be sure to visit the NBC 15 Facebook page. That's where we live stream tonight's remembrance ceremony as it happened, so you can watch it in its entirety if you were not able to attend. On now to the weather and what shaped up to be a pretty decent evening, and we're really moving into a summer-like pattern here. It's feeling like July, Brian Dukes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We were tracking some rain earlier this evening, but luckily we really missed out on that. Still tracking a couple of showers pivoting in from the north and west, but at this point, chances are you're going to stay dry. Just one sprinkle we're tracking around Prairie du Chien, so if you are in the Grant County, you may get a couple of sprinkles. I think that's the extent of any additional rain chances as we move through tonight. As you head out the door tomorrow morning, a much different situation. The humidity gets out of here. Temperatures will be pleasant, lower to middle 60s. That's where we start the day. That humidity, it's only going down as we wrap up the week. Thursday and Friday will be some of the nicer days we've had all summer long. You'll want to soak those up because we do have some changes and some hot changes as we move towards the weekend. I'll have more on that, though, in your full Weather Authority forecast.
Giving out free condoms to high schoolers. It's going to happen at a Madison high school. The reason district officials approved the plan to offer contraceptives to students. Then later, an unexpected hitchhiker, you could say, for a truck driver in Eau Claire. How the heck did that happen? There's a story behind the semi carrying a traffic light down the road. There's a new plan tonight from the Madison Metropolitan School District to give out free condoms to high school students. Students at Madison West High School will be told about reproductive health, condom use, and sexual consent when they request the contraceptives. This comes after the Dane County Health Department reported 90 cases of STDs at West High School in 2017. An autopsy is set tomorrow for the man killed in an industrial accident in Oak Creek. OSHA will be investigating after that construction worker was killed at the Amazon construction site. Right now, police say the worker was operating a piece of machinery on an upper floor and drove it out of a window. The drop was between 30 and 40 feet. Proposed changes to federal trucking rules in 2 minutes. How the proposals impact drivers here in Wisconsin.
Good news, calm conditions will carry us into the weekend. Your Weather Authority forecast coming up.
Caught on camera tonight, new video from Eau Claire shows a semi carrying a little more cargo than usual. Thanks to viewer Daryl for pointing this out. Look, according to Eau Claire police, a semi driver drove over the curb at an intersection, broke off the traffic light pole, which became lodged on the truck. Good view of it there. The driver actually drove a couple of blocks before police pulled him over. According to officials, the driver was cited for an improper right turn. And now this happened this past Sunday. The trucking company has not issued a statement on the incident. Tonight, new guidelines are being debated in Washington as the Transportation Department proposes a plan to change the hours of service for truck drivers. Right now, regulations limit truckers to 11 hours of driving time within a 14-hour period. 10 hours have to pass before they can start driving again. The goal of the new legislation is to make the driving rules more flexible while truckers are on the road. But many drivers feel the changes aren't flexible enough.
Some of those extensions and flexibility will come in handy on, especially during winter months when road conditions are horrible, and sometimes we just need that extra half an hour or some days just to get us home.
Tonight, no specific rule changes have been made public, but we do know the White House Office of Management and Budget is reviewing the proposal. New tonight, a Green Bay area veterinary clinic is making news by ending declawing practices in cats. There's a growing nationwide interest in banning declawing, with many animal health experts saying it's inhumane and often leads to more behavioral problems with cats. Now, vet clinics are advising cat owners about alternatives.
It's a time to start introducing things like scratching posts and scratching items, and every cat might like a different substrate. Some cats like carpet, some cats like paper and cardboard. You just have to find that right substrate for the cat.
Last month, New York became the first state to ban declawing procedures. No word if any Wisconsin lawmakers plan on introducing a similar measure.
This is your Weather Authority forecast.
Summer fans rejoice. We are in the warmest time of the year with average highs into the lower 80s and overnight lows into the lower 60s. From here on out, we'll hold steady, but then by the end of the month, we'll actually start to decrease those average highs as we move through late July, August, of course, inching closer to the start of fall. Now, don't worry, we can still get some real heat through the month of July and even into August, early September. And the way things are shaping up, you better believe it. The heat is going to be on as we take a look at the 6 to 10 and also the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. You'll notice this dark red color is through much of the eastern half of the United States and really through the Great Lakes region. This is an indication of some rather intense, perhaps at times dangerous heat building. We are talking by the middle of the month, highs that for several days could be into the 90s. You factor in the heat index, it could be feeling close to 100 degrees. So keep this in mind. It's not going to be immediate. We'll get through the end of the week and the weekend okay, but starting next week and more so into the middle of the month, the heat is going to be on. Right now in Madison, 74 degrees, winds are calm, the dew point, it's up there a little bit. Look for that to fall off late tonight and tomorrow morning with the passage of a cold front. That will drop temperatures from the 70s now into the 60s by tomorrow morning. Couple 60s already popping up. Baraboo, Viroqua, both coming in at 68. It's 75 though into Janesville. Rain chances, they're done with. No more shower or storm expected for the overnight hours. You can see that a lot of this is pushing out and not really making its way into our area. A lot of clear skies out there by early tomorrow morning as this cold front swings through. As we move through the day on Thursday, a few clouds here and there. No rain expected. Now as we move through the day on Friday, I think we'll be hard-pressed to see any cloud cover. So we'll go partly cloudy tomorrow, mostly sunny as we wrap up the week with low humidity sticking around. Temperatures steadily increasing as we move towards the weekend. Upper 70s tomorrow, middle 80s Friday, and then the upper 80s as we move into the weekend. Overnight tonight, though, down to around 65, partly cloudy. The shower chances pretty much wrapped up by this point. 78 tomorrow, partly sunny, very nice for early July standards. We'll keep an eye on Saturday and Sunday. That's when we could have an isolated shower or storm develop through the afternoon and evening. That would be because of the heat and humidity. Notice temperatures by early next week getting into the middle and upper 80s. Again, factoring in that heat index, and you will be into the 90s. So even beyond this, as I was mentioning, John, be ready for some real heat. This will be something we watch in the days and weeks ahead. Could be one of those patterns that we'll need to make sure we check on people without air conditioning, the pets, and stay cool as it really starts to warm up.
Yeah, and always a good idea to remember the sunscreen and all of that. We've been waiting long for this, but then we can overdo it.
You can enjoy it, but in a safe way.
Right. Thanks, Brian. Well, widespread flooding, that's the problem in New Orleans today. As you can see, it made it a bit tough to get around the Big Easy. In the French Quarter, an area normally crowded with people is now filled with water. You see the car going through there. Canal Street actually looks like a canal. Today's heavy rain is just the beginning as a tropical system in the Gulf of Mexico churns closer to the coast.
We're just completely stranded here. I mean, we came down and this happened all within a matter of hours, and now no one can get anywhere. They've shut down all public transportation. There's just disabled cars all over the road. It's like a hurricane. It's like actually like a hurricane.
It's also worth mentioning tonight the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration revealed that the country has broken the record for the wettest 12-month period for the third time this year. Look at this new video tonight from Italy. This is crazy. Look at that. The country's eastern coast being pummeled by hail the size of oranges. That is hail. We know tonight as many as 20 people had to go to the hospital after that hail hit them. The storm also packed wind speeds of 90 miles per hour and flash flooding for many parts of the country. In sports, we'll check in with two of Wisconsin's best golfers of all time. Jocko only wishes he was on that list. He's in next with NBC 15 Sports. And later, a major hoedown at Hodag, how country music fans are rallying for the major music event up in Rhinelander. First, there's a look at your winning lottery numbers.
NBC 15 Sports.
Hello again, everybody. I don't know about you, but I'm having some serious Brewers withdrawal. I know the All-Star break is necessary, but couldn't they just play the All-Star game on Monday and get back to playing for real games on Wednesday? Please and thank you. Well, we always have the Mallards here in Madison. The first half champs are off to a good start in the second half as well, but as you know, sometimes at the Duck Pond, it isn't always about baseball, right? I mean, there are bobbleheads and Maynard and fireworks and other giveaways, but tomorrow night, it gets even better.
Tomorrow is super fun. Yeah. So tomorrow, Thursday night, we rebrand as the Wisconsin Cheese Curds.
Yeah.
So as an ode to our favorite fried, squishy little cheese curd, we will be wearing cheese curd uniforms, have cheese curd ticket specials going all through the ballpark, and we'll be wearing our special red and white checkered cheese curd jerseys. And of course, you can pick up your cheese curd merchandise in the team store.
Always a salesman, right? And the Mallards are victorious tonight, beating the Rockford Rivets 5-2. The same two teams, or I should say the Rivets, take on the Wisconsin Cheese Curds tomorrow night at the Duck Pond. The Senior Players is coming up, and another major on the PGA Tour champions. You know, Steve Stricker and Jerry Kelly are two of the nicest guys you'll ever meet besides the three of us, right, guys? Yeah. Right. And it's no wonder that they get along off the course and sometimes on it as well. It's a unique relationship, but let's let them explain, right?
You know what? This is developed all the way back to junior golf, and it happened on the regular tour, and now it's happening on the Champions Tour. And it's like I said, playing with you last week was a lot of fun at the U.S. Senior Open and at the AmFam, you know, trying to win there too.
AmFam was much more fun.
You know, I don't think it was. No, I didn't sleep for a couple of nights after that. But that's what's fun. But it is awkward too, you know, because we are friends and we've been teammates and we're pulling for each other now.
You know, the young guys out there right now, early on, they got bashed in the media for being too good of friends. Right. And I think that's terrible. They want to beat each other's brains in.
No doubt.
They want to win more than anything. But
and it actually fires them up, and I think it drives them to do better, just
Absolutely.
like what it's done for you and I over the years.
Two great guys and three great guys. Something like that. That's it for sports. NBC 50 News at 10. We'll be right back.
Check out this new video tonight from NOAA researchers showing a large grouper swallowing a dogfish shark. Researchers working about 80 miles off the coast of South Carolina when that video was recorded. Tonight, the researchers say the footage shows even sharks are dinner to a bigger fish. New information tonight shows JP Morgan Chase owns the cargo ship where 20 tons of cocaine was seized during a raid in Philadelphia. We first brought you the story on June 17th. The cocaine on board is worth nearly $1.5 billion. The banking giants don't have operational control of the ship, which is run by the Swiss-based Mediterranean Shipping Company, but they do own it, and tonight they have no comment. New tonight, thousands of campers from around the state are in Rhinelander to celebrate the Hodag Country Music Festival. It's the day before the event begins. The concerts start tomorrow, but campers were there today already to claim the best spots. There are 5,000 campsites that are walking distance to the stage, making this the largest country music festival in northern Wisconsin.
We have music for everyone. There is the old classics, the legends, the hit makers, the up-and-comers. And we tell everyone to hit every show and they're going to love it.
I'm just excited to see the Hodag environment. We're local people from Tomahawk. We used to sing together when we were younger, and I'm her oldest granddaughter, so the first grandkid to come to Hodag. So it's exciting to share this experience with her.
The Hodag Country Festival has been a tradition since 1978. And we're right back with Brian's final look at the forecast after this.
Good news, looks like the rain chances have wrapped up for the overnight hours. We will be back to a mix of sun and clouds early Thursday. Temperatures starting off into the upper 60s. 78 tomorrow, 85 on Friday. Yes, we'll heat things up, but the humidity should be rather low through the end of the week. We'll bring it back through the weekend, a few rain chances, and near 90 next week.
Have fun out at the Mallards game?
Yes, it's a beautiful night for baseball in the Wisconsin Cheese Curds tomorrow.
Yeah.
I may have one.
I can't believe that's a team. That's great.
NBC 15 News is always on at NBC15.com. Powered by TDS high-speed internet. Anywhere you go, we can go with you. At home or on the go. When you see news happen, let us know. Call 274-1500. We're here 24 hours a day.